Hey everyone, in this video here, we're going to talk about how to really launch your coaching business from scratch in 5 steps. And when I talk about really, there's a lot of things that often people don't really talk about when it comes to like starting an online business. Hear me out, because you'll be like, yeah, they never talk about that. We're going to break all that down in this level, because usually they're talking about, I don't know if I want to say advanced level stages, but they're missing the core 5 steps when it comes to putting your business together. And so we're going to talk about really beginning stage strategies that's going to help you. It's going to protect you. It's also going to empower you. So check it out in this video. And just in case, if you're new to coaching or you're wanting to start a coaching business, I want to make sure you understand this video is for you, right? So if you're brand new or you're thinking about starting a business, this is a video you don't want to miss. And depending, some of the stuff we talk about in this, you might be like, wow, I haven't done that yet. And you might say, this video might be for you too, because like I said, it's going to protect you and empower you. And so with that, let me dive in. But real first, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Andy Griffith. I'm the co-founder of Movement Formula. And my background, right? Because like, who's this dude talking to me about this? I've worked as a business advisor for 100 plus years, not 100 plus years, for 100 plus, man, I'm looking good for 100. No, with 100 plus locations, I've got over a decade of experience in the online space. I've led teams as big as 70 plus and even been in leadership roles that were responsible for sales upwards of $10 million between different various business model types. And I've personally helped a $1 million sales coach with some of their assets. And that's a coach who's generated over $1 million. And even worked on a different coach's funnel, which was a multiple 6-figure funnel, made some tweaks to it to improve its conversion. So when I talk about things in business in this video or others, depending what all you've seen on our channel, comes from applied knowledge, right? This isn't theory or book knowledge. It's from applied knowledge out in the field. And so with that, because like they say, a minute in the field is worth an hour in a book. Let me deliver you some gold nugget bombs that most don't talk about when it comes to building your business or starting your business for that matter, that are really important, because you need this. As I go through it, some of you may have it. I'm kind of curious as we go through it. Comment down below if you do or don't have all these things. I'd really like to know the aha effect from this video on that. So make sure you grab a pen, because these steps you don't want to miss. So number 1, make things official. And what do I mean by that? Register your business, okay? Do you have it as an LLC or maybe a sole proprietorship? Actually create a legitimate business, okay? Most people tend to not really talk about the part, but you really need to make things official, right? That is also, it's going to do a few things for you, but that's going to empower you. You have a legitimate business. And you can think of some sort of a cool name whenever you're like putting it together, but really, even if it's just in your name, if you make a pivot later in your business, especially as an online coach, maybe you talk about one area and you notice you pivot. If your cool name has something to do about one genre and you pivot, it's going to be a lot harder to pivot versus it's just your name, right? If you do like just your name as your LLC, which you can do, it's easier to pivot because everything's the same, okay? But you can think of a cool name, but your actual name is pretty great as well. So, and if you're thinking like, well, how do I do that, right? Because then you're like, okay, I've never done this. All you got to do is go to like your secretaryofstate.gov. Go online. You can search secretaryofstate.gov with whichever state you're at, and you can file online. It takes about 10 minutes. It may be, it depends. I don't know all states, right? There's like 50 states in the US, but it could be like $100, but it's a great investment. Let me explain why. 1, you're a legitimate company now. You'll be a legitimate business. People, when they do business with you, do business with a business, okay? It's going to legitimize you, but also it's going to protect you, because you're creating a wall, because now they're not doing business with you, the individual. They're doing business with the entity that you, the individual, owns. So it creates a protection. Should something legal ever come up or happen, they're doing business with your business, not with you. Even though it's your name or whatever you name it, it just kind of separates things. It's also going to help you with tax time, because and we'll get into that a little bit later. But separating your personal expenses from your business expenses, it's going to also like help you use money without it being taxed to grow your business. And I'll talk about that in a second. But then once you've got an LLC, like I said, it takes like 10 minutes, secretaryofstate.gov. You can go to the IRS.gov and get you a federal EIN number, employer identification number, EIN. You might hear people ask about it. It takes like 5 minutes. And it's free. You can you fill it in and send it to the IRS. But that's going to allow you to do what step number 2 is. That's get a bank account for your business and actually have a business bank account. right? Start like professionalism. You now have an LLC, you have a real business. Now step number 2, a business bank account. Okay, because that's going to help you separate your personal from your professional revenue streams. right? By keeping them separated, it's very key at tax time, right? And there's some lucrative benefits to having them separated because you can use money that you generate from your business to buy business expenses, right? Like decorating your office. I decorated my office, right? My chair, you know, you kind of see my office chair, the desk that I'm on, the computer that I use, the phone plan, if it's a business phone, all those little things that instead of them being spent after tax dollars, they're business expenses spent to run and operate the business, right? You're creating business assets and business expenses. And so then when you actually pay yourself, that's what you have to worry about the taxation on, not the business expenses to operate and run your business. Okay, I'm not a tax professional to go into all the nooks and crannies of that, but generally speaking, I mean, the things that you buy to run and operate your business, like printer paper, printer ink, those are business expenses. Having a business account to pay for those out of the revenue you generate keeps it separate. Cool, right? And then what you can do is you can actually for years, I just track my monthly expenses in Excel. You can do that for free. Or QuickBooks, very low cost. You can now set up QuickBooks, which we've pivoted to that at this time where it's integrated to our accounts. And so when transactions are coming through, it's all like automating some of the stuff. But for years, I just literally used Excel. And then like one day at the end of each month or the first week of the following month, I'd kind of like type in all the expenses from my business account, right? And then type in all the revenue from like my payment gateways and stuff like that. And that's how people were paying me online. But having a business account, right? Very key. So you have a legitimate business, right? We have a business account. Now let's talk about digital real estate, okay? And what do I mean by digital real estate is essentially your domain name, a website address, yourname.com, right? Yourbusiness.com, whatitisthatyoudocom. When you buy that, you want to make sure, keep it simple. Don't put a bunch of like crazy spellings because people will then misspell it because they don't know the crazy spelling. I would avoid numbers and try to keep it as short and buttoned up because you got to think if people type this in, we got to make it easy to type in. So if you can make it simple, find the .com, comms are king, .com. If your .com's taken, yes, you can do a .org, .gov, or not gov, probably not .gov, but a .net. But .com, the com is king, right? If you've got it, but just no weird spelling or like funky numbers and stuff like that because people have to be able to type this thing in later, right? But you can use this because now you can create your online brand, which is your business from your bank account, buying your domain, and you have your own online brand, right? That you put your websites on, your sales funnels on, your booking calendars on, all of those things go on there. Here's a little side tip, and I've actually got a bonus at the end. I'm going to talk about some really cool tools that's going to simplify your business once you have it set up. But a little side tip about domains. Buy your kid's domain name. If you have kids right now, buy their domain in the .com if it's available. Because think about it, depending how young your kids are, 10 to 15 years from now, is that .com going to be available? I don't know. But if they have their .com, they've got their branded domain because mom and dad bought that for them. It was real estate that they invested in, digital real estate. Okay, you follow me on that? So that's just a little side tip, and you can thank me later on that one. So, like I said, make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to talk about some things for your business that are tools that simplify what you do, and you can actually start for absolutely free. And we're talking about like drag and drop builders. If you're thinking about building a website, you're not going to need to hire some like expensive coder to do that for you, and you can avoid the chaos of the digital duct tape stress of buying like 5 tools, trying to connect them together, hoping they work, and then getting stressed out not knowing how they work and stressed out logging into all of them to run it, right? Because then you have to log into this one, log into this one, log into this one. Instead, you have one dashboard to do everything for you. But I'll talk about that at the end of the video. So number 4 is brand your communications out. And essentially what I mean by that is get a branded email account, okay? And so when I think communication when you send out, a branded email account is so when you're professional now, it's your name at yourwebsite.com, not your name at Gmail, right? You might use that for personal, but professionalism, posturing, your name at yourdomain.com to send and receive emails from. It creates a stature. You're legitimate, right? I suggest personally, I use like Google G Suite. They have like, I believe at this time of this video, like a $6 plan and a $12 plan. The bigger differences between those is like how much online storage you want to have, but it can give you branded email, right? So now you have professionalism, and then you can, what I personally use, I'm on their 12, I think they call it business at this time, is it has this thing called like file stream where all my files I can reach from my computer, but they're actually stored in the cloud. And so that way, literally, if anything happens to my computer, all I got to do is resync it from the cloud. I don't have to worry about my computer crashing and losing anything. That's a little side tip, but G Suite's what I use is like $6 a month to get started. And a little side tip on this is you can create what they call aliases, because sometimes you might want your name at yourdomain.com, and then you want a contact or a support. Instead of creating each one of those and getting charged $6 each, you can, in the settings in G Suite, you can create an alias with your main one, like your name at yourdomain.com. You can create a quote alias in there, and no matter what email they send to that support or contact or help, it'll go to your regular email account without you being charged that extra fee per domain or per email address, right? It's a pretty cool thing. Just it's under aliases in the settings there. I didn't know about that for like a year, and I had like 2 or 3 I was paying, and I learned about it. I was like, oh my God, cancel, put them as aliases, save me like $30 a month. Things that you live and learn and know. So yeah, then you brand your communications, right? The number 5 thing. Now this is, again, protection, right? LLC, protection, right? Branded domain, branded email, and LLC, empowerment, right? When you send email marketing out, you're supposed to, spam laws, you have to have an address. Don't put your home address on the footer of those emails. Unless you just like to live wild. People are crazy. Don't have your home address on the bottom of every email you send out through email marketing. I mean, think about it. People are crazy. I'm sorry, they're out there. Protect yourself. You can get a P.O. box from like a local company. Personally, well, I say P.O. box. I don't think that they let you do P.O. box. Here's what I use. UPS has suites. And so it's a suite, even though it's a P.O. box. UPS store has suites. It costs so much, depending how long you buy out, it's so much a month. But that's the address, right? And so if people do mail me things sometimes from that, which does occur. You build your email list out, people will mail you. It goes to my P.O. box, not my home address. And if, like I said, crazies out there, you don't want them showing up at your house, right? I mean, that'd just be weird. And would you know? That's even more weirder. So make sure, protect yourself, get a P.O. box for your business. Because like I said, when you start sending email, you have to put an address in the bottom, and you don't want to put your home address unless you're just crazy or brave. Maybe brave, I should say crazy. I just would highly advise against that. And now the bonus step, number 6, some bonus tools that literally create a plug-and-play system to help you launch your own online business as a coach that you can actually get for absolutely free. We're giving away for free right now. And this includes like your websites, your sales funnels, landing pages, booking calendars, and you don't need a designer to do all that. It's drag and drop, user-friendly. We've got a help desk team, step-by-step videos, live Q&As each week. It even includes your email and text marketing. It's literally an all-in-one thing housed in one platform. You can log into one platform, get complete access to all of that and empowerment for your business. Plus, we give away templates with it too. So you have templates. As long as you can change words and images, you can be up and running really, really fast. Words and images, up and running fast. All you have to do is go to movementformula.com. You can learn more about that and get started for absolutely free. It's at movementformula.com and start for free. And with that, if you've made it this far to the video, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Make sure you click the subscribe button wherever it is at the bottom here. Subscribe to our video so we can keep delivering more awesome content for you, helping you learn how to start, grow, and launch and grow your online coaching business. And drop a like. When I see the likes, that makes my heart jump, because it's like, oh yeah, they got a like. Lets me know that this content was of value to you. And what I always like to know in these videos, what's your biggest takeaway from this video? Do you actually have all of the things that I've talked about? And if not, what do you need to have? And what was like maybe your biggest takeaway? You're like, whoa, I didn't think about that. I'd like to know that in the comments there too, because oftentimes people aren't talking about these things, but they're so critical, they're so important, because it's going to empower you, it's going to protect you, it's going to legitimize you. And so with that, guys, comment down below, subscribe, like, and I'll see you on the next video. But until then, they should eventually put like a video somewhere. It's like I'm pointing at stuff that isn't there, but it should be there later. So, all right, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.